Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Total Annihilation replay. Today, I have my sincere apologies, for we are going to be observing a game on the tiniest map in all of original Total Annihilation. This is the Cave Dog map, Darkside. This was a specialty of mine, and so we have a game between me and RVD on Darkside. So you can kind of get to see how to play this map, which is... well, the play of this evolved quite a bit. Originally, this map got played a bit more when connections were smaller and you needed tinier maps, especially with smaller resolutions. There's actually some interesting games that Nug 615 sent me of really kind of old school play on this. But Mr. Nug, I've got some modern play for you. So right here, playing core, as always, you've got me. And then bottom left, you have RVD, the speed clicking Irishman. Who has decided to play this. I believe this is part of a best of 10. And so RVD really wants to win this and prove that he is, in fact, the best. So no shake and shoot all from both of us. You can see this map is so tiny that it's really easy. RVD said he wanted top. This is a little bit of an imbalanced map in that there are slightly bigger rocks up here. But I think these metal patches are a little bit closer together. And so that actually matters quite a bit on a map that is this tiny. It's actually relatively easy to walk over and degun somebody's stuff. But usually that wasn't done because under ladder rules, if your commander dies before the other person's commander, not including degunning, then you would give you the win. So if you were to walk up here and degun my plant and I were to have, say, a few units shooting him, then I would be higher health. I would simply just stay next to him, shoot my laser until his commander dies, and I would claim the victory. So that was a nice little addition to the ladder rules. These are ladder games, even though this is part of a best of 10. And so that little rule change there that we have makes it so that comm rushing really isn't the thing. So first thing I do is I drop 2 solars, a single metal extractor, and I push out some weasels, and they are going for a little run. RVD, anticipating that I use weasels. He and I played a lot of games, and he knows that I love to raid with my weasels. I come on in, but I'm not exactly here to raid. You notice what I do is I come in. I actually do manage to bag 1 and 2 metal extractors because the weasels take 3 missiles and not 2. And RVD is all upset about that. RVD says that shouldn't have happened, and if those were Jeffies, that wouldn't have happened. And I respond, weasels are better than Jeffies, with a silly grin. You can see I've also marked his plant. Our Aprox says that's not raiding, that's not scouting, that's planned raiding. I say all I need to do is find the plant, then it's just damage to be done. My goal there was scouting. RVD does know what's coming here. One slasher to defend myself against counter raid, and I push out a con. Start pushing out more slashers. RVD has 2 construction vehicles and 1 Samson. His commander's going for a little walk. He's reclaiming those, and I have got my radar up, and so I see that right there. You can see how it's really important on this map that when you build your radar, you don't build it back here, you build it a little bit further forward, and that'll give you line of sight, basically, or radar cover, basically over the start position. See what I did there? See how I waited till the slasher took near fatal damage, and then I looped it to the back, enabling it to shoot just a little bit longer for splash damage on this fellow that took it out. What's that sound, you might be wondering? This is a leveler. It has a high muzzle velocity, but a really short range officially. But why is it shooting all the way across the map? What I'm doing here is I'm taking this leveler and I'm clicking attack right here. And what that does is that enables it to shoot. Now, I've had a lot of practice on this map. And so that means I actually know pretty well the range and where to shoot. Now, I'm missing right now. I'm not actually hitting anything important, but I did damage these Samsons, and I was able to move my own slashers in, and I'm taking out that solar collector. RVD has rebuilding a plant over here on the left. He anticipates that this plant is going to go down. I take out his radar. I do more raiding. Really aggressive with the slashers. These two are pretty weak at this point. I've changed my aim. You can see I've now knocked out that metal deposit, that metal extractor with my free Guardian. They cost around 300 metal. Apex Aster Slashers cheaper than Sam's. For being an expert, he should know the answer to that. I say yeah. Not by much. They are cheaper. RVD, seeing that the leveler shot was just about to find home, he reclaims it with his con. He drops the con. Really nice move by him to save that metal. He now has a fully operational plant that I have not scouted on the other side of the map. This does put him a little bit behind in unit production because he had to do that. He's also dropped a few solars. I have 3 solars up. I'm busy capping metal over here. Take out that metal extractor too. Right now I'm at 7.5 metal to his 5.3. And another solar goes down. Advantage to me at this point. My leveler stopped firing. I don't really know what to shoot at this point. Still only 1 con working. RVD brings up his commander. Pushing back. D-guns the slashers. That's what I get for going that far up without the radar cover. Okay, so missile towers on the top. I start just shelling randomly. Oh, no, actually, I marked that solar, so I'm actually shooting it. I'm shooting it trying to hit that solar. Not quite there. I see there are these missile towers here. I drive in. Not a good use of my units there. See, I go ahead and I mark them, and I pull back the slashers. And here come the leveler shots. Missile towers are generally pretty easy to hit. Damage his Samson. Pushing out more slashers. Not really hitting much right now. Change the aim slightly. My position is probably a little bit off. RVD coming in to reclaim his territory. I pushed out a second con and building radar a little bit further forward. I want to clear that missile tower forest up there so that way I can push in. Oh. I see that he, with the radar that just went up, that he has reclaimed his bottom. I spy that that's the commander. I pull back the slashers. That leveler sounds probably getting a little annoying to you, but imagine if you were RVD. Do a little damage to the commander. Commander's sneaking up here. Nice job by RVD, gives himself some space. I know his commander's down there, so I move north. Start radar targeting again, drop a solar. Start shooting my leveler at his commander. And it looks like he's planning on building a Guardian. Slashers come in, and I'm trying to take out that territory. Continue to cap. I'm way ahead on production at this point. RVD is backed into a corner. See how just having to reclaim your plant, even though I didn't actually get it. And there we go, leveler shot, it's hitting that Samson. I've got his vehicle plant targeted. It's currently getting hit. I can also see the flashing dots on radar, so I know that I'm actually scoring hits with my leveler on the factory. And the factory goes down to the leveler. I spy the other factory, and so I start taking aim down right here. This is where the height comes into play. Oh, and I didn't actually explain why it actually works this way. The gravity on this map is incredibly low. And so the high muzzle velocity of the leveler allows you to overshoot it by doing that clicking that I was telling you about. Bad UC by me, walking all my slashers right up into his commander. I anticipated it to be to the bottom. Turns out it wasn't. So because of the low gravity, I'm able just to shoot this click right here, right next to it, and it just flies all the way across the map. And like I said, because of the practice that I've had with the leveler, I've got pretty good aim at this point. Taken out multiple cons, destroyed the factory. Right now it's sitting at 7 kills. Take out a solar, continuing to shoot. I'm trying to tag that factory with it. I know if I can keep his factories down, then eventually, with my commander guarding, I'll be able to have enough stuff out. Although, here we go, I've dropped 2 more of my own factories. And I might be trying to go for my favorite idle con strategy right here. RVD dropping missile towers. Just trying to control what little territory he has. RVD building lots of cons here. I think he's thinking maybe he can outbuild the leveler shots. Not its damage, but at the time that it takes to aim. My slashers come in, and I take care of that vehicle plant. I see that he's got missile towers. He's using those. He's building up rows of dragon teeth to keep the slashers back. 3 factories and a con guard one. Even though I don't have mass cons, I still have idle ones. RVD building a guardian. I start pegging it with my slashers. Guardians are pretty powerful on this map. That usually was the standard strategy back in the day too. You'd want to be the first one to get your Guardian up because it just controls such a large part of it. I mark the guard. He's repairing it, and my slashers have been going down to the missile towers. As you can see, the Guardian reaches nearly half the map here. Imagine if this were a little bit more centralized, you'd be able to control basically the entire map. Oftentimes when you get a Guardian up, it wasn't uncommon for people just to walk their commander up and try and degun it. But there's no point in walking across the map and attempting to degun a 300 metal leveler. So RVD simply is having to endure it, but he's now given himself the breathing space, and I foolishly dumped a whole bunch of wrecks on his land. Leveler takes out a solar. I'm trying to press in. And I'm dropping a cave on that. I'm just kind of enduring the fire of the Guardian at this point. RVD massing up his flashes. See, the bumps in the map are coming into play. The slashers are actually having a lot of trouble hitting. I have to back the slashers up because of the flashes. You see, I've moved my leveler a little bit because my true objective here is to try and tag and take down this Guardian. These raiders come in foolishly. I did not see them. I get to walk away with a few mexes. The slashers make quick work of them otherwise. It doesn't actually hurt me that much to pull them all the way back, except then RVD comes down to the bottom. I like to use Control Z because I do want to bunch my slashers up as tight as possible. That's how they're most effective. But RVD is busy fighting his way back into the game. RVD at around 6 metal now. This is me just kind of, what I do is I hold shift to see where I previously clicked, and then I click on a different pixel right next to the leveler. The objective here is to try and change the point of attack. I'm trying to build up a large enough force of units that I can go ahead and press in. I see the flashes coming in. And you managed to tag a mechs. Other than that, I take out. Here we go. So I've got a lot of slashers using the storms for the line of sight. And this is just a really big force. Spy as commander, and I start pulling back, damaging it really heavily. RVD's commander's in the red, I know it, so then I move in to take out my actual target, which is the Guardian. At this point I've put out some thuds, and I'm doing the exact same thing with them. I'm force firing right next to them, and they're just raining shells. And I'm just putting them in, I'm just firing at random here. This is just a random artillery barrage. RVD is reclaiming his Guardian at this point. He sees the artillery barrage. I don't think he thinks it's going to survive. RVD dropping his third factory. Aprox says rainy days. And now my leveler is tagging one of his factories. Oh, but I didn't realize it, so I stopped shooting. I'm still trying to hit that Guardian, which I don't know is totally gone. Again, nice use of just cleverly reclaiming things by RVD there. Constant shelling. My commander is busy going on a stroll here. So RVD, despite his early disadvantages, I'm just not able to put the deal home. My slasher forces kept getting degunned. His commander's now back to a healthy point. Well, half health. He's grouping his flashes away from where the artillery fire is falling in. I think this factory is getting damaged. I'm not sure. RVD's got 2 packs. He knows that I do like to group my slashers all in one. And I start radar targeting. Tons of flashes coming in. He's got more flashes than I have slashers. I bring my commander up. You get 1. See how the slashers, just they do that retreating action? You can see how it works. This many flashes died before they even got close. Then once they get close, things really kind of even out. Constant shelling. RVD says, should have done more damage than I thought. He was expecting those flashes to do a lot better. But I controlled my slashers appropriately. Got the storms protecting the artillery barrage. At this point, I'm just focused on building enough units. I don't think I even realized that some of these shots are just going off the screen. And I'm starting to build a Guardian of my own. Punisher. Punishers on this map, because you can also overshoot with them, basically can shoot the entire map if you know how to do it. RVD didn't try and take advantage of that. I catch the flashes, tag one for free. I come in with my attack, he tries to drive me away with the flashes. Doesn't look like he has enough physing to be able to do it. Always though, always when you're playing core and you see the flashes coming in, if there's any sizable group, you turn around and you head the other direction. You only start to kind of turn things back around once you only see a few, see a handful left. RVD really doing a good job of just kind of reclaiming this territory, pushing himself back into it. Putting all those consies. At this point, he's low on units. The artillery is landing on top of this construction vehicle right here. RVD's got to move it. RVD sets the game speed to 10. He sees the force coming in, and he goes ahead and he surrenders at that point. So there we have it. That was probably one of the more weird things to watch. That was a relatively long Darkside game. A lot of these games, I believe I only ever lost to ARM once on this map. And then the other time I lost on this map was to Tiptushi. But he decided he wouldn't go ARM. He went core. He just looked at my strategy. He said, I can do that better than he can. And he just put out his leveler and killed my factory right away. It turns out he's just got that natural talent for being able to aim a leveler across the map. See, despite the fact that RVD was really pushed into his corner, the metal that he produced was more or less even with me. But at the end there, the fact that he drove those flashes into the slashers, who were really able to gobble them up, even though he had the slashers outnumbered. Too many of them died before they were really able to fire a shot. And he recognized that I was going to be able to take that unit advantage to the victory. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Something a little different. And RVD, if you're out there, I know you've got great demos. So get in touch and send them over to me. Too many of these ones that you can find on Tatters have you losing because people like to send them in where they win. Now, this one in particular, I believe this wasn't submitted by me. This was actually sent by Apex because he thought, out of all the people that he'd ever seen play Darkside, you actually did the best against me. So this was just one of those things. This is one of those core maps it's just kind of funny. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Leave a comment if there's any particular map that you're interested in seeing or any particular players that you want to see featured. And I'll see if I can go ahead and find those. Or if you also find a demo that you like and you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on the Total Annihilation Universe Discord server. You can just send me a message and say, hey, check this one out, and I'll see if I can get it up here. Anyway, I will catch you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.